Barbara Hanna proposes that we connect with the shadow through a technique called active imagination. She says we first must be alone and free of any possible distractions. You must then sit down and concentrate on seeing or hearing whatever comes up from unconscious. When this is accomplished, the image must be prevented from sinking back again into the unconscious by drawing, free writing, or painting. Typically, they seem to be the opposite of your self-image. In making these images conscious through drawing, you can better visualize your disowned parts by seeing them first within someone else as a safe and objective image on a piece of paper. You may draw either abstractly or representationally, allowing the images to change as you draw. It is not necessary to understand the significance of the image. The simple act of drawing is healing because you now have a conscious image of your shadow to work with. If a frightening image appears, such as an abused victim or an angry tyrant, try to keep drawing. The point of pain may offer the greatest opportunity for renewal and be used as raw creative energy. You may also express the shadow through movement or dancing improvisation, like contact improvisation dance. Some people cannot get in touch with the unconscious directly, and so dance helps them tap into this side of them. An indirect approach that often reveals the unconscious particularly well is to write stories. Such stories invariably reveal the parts of the storyteller's own psyche, of which he or she is completely unconscious. We see the author's dark unconscious come out in horror, mystery, and violent sexual romance books. In a healthy make-believe way, they are unleashing their unconscious shadow so it does not permeate their actual life too heavily. There is another technique in dealing with the unconscious by means of active imagination, which she has always found of the greatest possible help. Conversations with contents of the unconscious that appear personified. Diana Metzger recommends writing about the other. She formulated a series of questions, imaginal exercises to engage the shadow through writing and developing characters and stories. Because these questions put the self and the shadow at equal risk, she has found that they coax the shadow into revealing itself. Here are example questions she uses. What are those qualities or attributes in others that you find least like yourself? Remember a time when you felt hate. Are there others who may hate you? What are your intractable prejudices? With what group do you feel least affinity? Who are the people you could not and would not imagine being because they revolt, offend, terrify, or enrage you, or are beneath you, are grotesque? Under what circumstances would you feel too humiliated to continue living? What horror within yourself would you find unbearable? When we examine our responses, we see that some aversions are based upon moral or ethical principles, but other disaffiliates are charged with contempt, loathing, revulsion. The latter live in the realm of the shadow. From these qualities, Deanna recommends that you allow a character to formulate itself, someone with a name, a personality, and a history. Enter into dialogue with this person, allowing intimacy, confidence, and revelation to occur until you seemingly know everything about the person, her lives, what her house looks like, what she eats for lunch, what she thinks, what she fears, what she wants and dreams. Be truthful and forthcoming as you wish the shadow to be. Another entryway to meeting this inner character is to imagine that your life is threatened, and in order to escape the threat, you must create another entity, a false cover. The cover must be perfect, an identity so like yourself and yet so different that you can be perfectly disguised while living the life of this other. Essentially, the best way to connect with the shadow is through creativity. Dance, journal writing, story writing, envisioning your shadow as a character, acting, drawing, painting in an uncensored, free-form way. I highly recommend keeping an artistic expression medium in your life so the unconscious has free rein to communicate with your conscious self. In this process, we understand ourselves more and why we are triggered by certain things so that our light and darkness becomes better integrated as one, and we have control over the darkness so it does not run us.